everyone, it's Christina with Wonderspark, and we are getting ready for our 4 p.m. DIY puppet craft. We've got our sample flying butterfly puppet. We have our supply list here. So I'll give you a few minutes to gather your things, and we will get started shortly. Welcome everyone! It's 4 o'clock. That means it's time for Wonderspark's DIY puppet craft. Woo! Alright. Welcome everyone. Just get settled in here. I'm Christina with Wonderspark Puppets, and it's 4 o'clock, so that means it is time for today's DIY puppet craft. Now this week is Forest Week, so we are going to be doing forest themed crafts all week. So I thought we would start off with this really fun flying butterfly. You should find lots of insects and especially pretty butterflies in the forest. So here we go. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to set my little samples aside. Let's quickly go over what we will need. First of all, on our little sample video today, there should have been in the comments this little printout pattern. So if you need to go ahead and take a second to print it out, go ahead. If not, it's pretty simple, so I'll go over the basic shape that you need. If you don't have a printer, you can still do this craft, no worries. But if you can, go ahead and print this out, and we will use it. and we'll need some construction paper or cardstock. Now, I did both, and I found that cardstock was a little bit easier, so that's what I'm going to use when making this puppet for you. But this sample that I just showed you, this was construction paper, so that will also work just fine, no worries. I just found the cardstock was a little easier to work with. So whichever you have, a pencil for tracing, some scissors, some tape. I've got my tape dispenser today. It's going to make things a little bit easier. A ruler. If you don't have a ruler, it's okay. You can kind of guesstimate. But if you have one, it won't hurt. And some markers or crayons for decorating. A pipe cleaner. And a plastic straw. And a glue stick. And that's it. So on that note, I think we should get started. So you should have your printout. And when you print it, for mine, I had to say that I wanted to fit to the page so that it almost takes up the full page here. That's about the size you want. And we're going to go ahead and just cut this out. Now, if you'll remember, other times when we've had patterns like this, if we have a dashed line, that means that's going to be a fold. Anything that's a solid line, we're going to cut. So we're just going to cut all the way around the solid line. We're not going to worry about the dash right now. So let's do that. All the way around. And this is a pretty simple shape. So if you were not able to make the printout, I'll go over that with you in just a few minutes, how you can make your own. Okay. So I've got my printout all cut out, and we're going to get ready to trace that. Again, I'm going to use my cardstock or your construction paper, and I'm going to fold hamburger style, which is the wider way. We don't want the long, skinny way this time. We want the wide way, or hamburger. So we're folding our construction paper or cardstock right in half. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing to my printout pattern. I'm going to fold it right in half, and that should be right where that dashed line was. Okay. So I have my folded paper, I have my folded pattern, and I'm going to put my pattern right over top of the paper like this. And we're going to trace. And actually, you only have to trace one side of this pattern. You don't have to do both, because when we cut it out, we'll automatically cut out the whole shape if we just trace half of it. Okay? So if you do not have the pattern, you can just take your construction paper, fold it in half, and here's what you'll need to do. You can take your ruler and measure about 1 inch, make a straight line here and a straight line at the bottom, and then you're just going to make a B shape, right? Just almost like a letter B. And that'll be perfectly fine for your butterfly wings if you were not able to trace the pattern. Just a straight line here. These need to be the same length, about 1 inch, and then you can make a B shape from there. So let's go ahead and trace this if we do have our pattern, or if you don't, making your own butterfly wings. And then we will cut it out, and we'll be in good shape. There we go. And now I can just cut all the way around the outside. All right. And now, because it is folded in half, we keep it folded in half, and we just have to cut out, we just have to cut out one side, and then we unfold it, and we've got the whole shape right there ready to go. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this shape, And right here, kind of at the end of that straight line, I'm going to fold my wings down and make a little crease. And at the exact same part on the other side, folding it down. We can make a nice good crease there so that when I unfold, you can see I have a little tab kind of in the middle, and then we've got the wings flapping on either side. Right? Okay. Now let's do a little decorating before we assemble our puppet. So when we decorate, keep in mind this center part where we made the little tab, we're going to be gluing that together. So anything that you draw in here, we're not going to see it. So just focus from this fold out on the wings, and whatever you want to draw on your wings is going to be great. I've had some people, my nephews, who have drawn some Super Marios on butterfly wings before, which was very cool. I think I'm just going to do some basic little lines and designs, but you can really get creative with this. Ooh. How about some swirls? See, I just got some lines, some little swirls, and I always like to put some hearts. So I'm going to put some hearts as well. Let's do one more little swirly. Okay, and that'll be good for me. Just a couple little lines and swirls and designs on my butterfly. Alrighty, now is the time we're going to take our glue stick and we're going to put some glue in these creases, and we're going to glue that together. Nice and simple. Alright, cool. So I've got my glue. Now I bring those folds together. There we go. And underneath I have my little tab. So you can already see how this puppet is going to work. Excellent. We'll set that aside. I'm going to take my pipe cleaner now, and I'm going to cut off about a little more than 2 inches. So here's where my ruler is going to come in handy. I'm just going to hold my pipe cleaner to the top of the ruler where the 1 starts, and I'm going to go about 2.5 inches. You can make a mark if you want to and then cut, but it doesn't have to be exact. So I'm just going to cut right about where that 2.5 inch mark is. So now I have a longer piece and a smaller piece. I'm going to take the top so that they're even, and then I'm going to wind the smaller piece around the larger piece. And you want to wind it all the way around. See how this little part, the end is sticking out? I want to tuck it in real tight to that longer piece. So we have a little V at the top, and then we've got our longer piece that goes all the way down. Now I'm going to take my tape and see this little V shape? One of each side is going to go on each side of that little tab. I don't want it quite in the middle where this little dip is. I want it a little bit forward. And I don't want my pipe cleaner to go past that crease of the wings. I'm going to keep it right below the crease. So right about there. And we're going to tape it on. Okay? So that's why I wanted my tape dispenser, so that I could hold this in place and just grab that piece of tape. And we're doing that on both sides. We're taping. All right. So I've got one side of that pipe cleaner on one side and the other on the other side. And again, we don't want it to go up beyond this crease. We want that wing to be able to flap freely. Okay. Now, next, we're going to take our straw. So my straws are these kind of bendy straws. So I'm going to take the bendy side and put it towards the bottom. And we're going to make a cut at the top. About, let's see, how much did I do? I think it was 3.5 inches. Yeah. So once again, I'm going to hold my straw to the top of the ruler, and I'm going to find the 3.5 mark. And I'm going to take my marker and just make a little mark on that straw. I don't know if you can see that. There we go, right there. So now I'm going to cut right through the center of my straw all the way to that mark that I just made. So from the end all the way down to that little mark. So now kind of the same idea that we had with our pipe cleaner, but just a little bit bigger. We still have that V shape, but it's going down a little bit deeper. So that's the idea. Now I take my straw and I take my pipe cleaner and I go inside, right in between that V shape that we just made. And the straw is going to go over the pipe cleaner. So now, when we put on our pipe cleaner, we didn't want this the pipe cleaner to go past this fold, but our straw is going to go past that fold by about 1.5 inches, I would say. And now we're going to put a piece of tape right at the top of that straw, right about here. Okay? And we're going to do that on both sides. Right at the top edge of the straw. There, and I'm going to flip it and do the same thing. Okay, we're almost ready. Okay, so this is invisible tape, so I'm not sure if you can see it, but I put the tape lined up with this top edge of the straw. And I did the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now we can open the wings a little bit. And here, you can see how the straw starts to bend right where the end of the tape is. And I'm just going to crease the straw a little bit. That'll help this puppet to work a little bit better. So right where the tape ends, I'm just creasing the straw a little bit. Okay, and that's going to help it to work a little bit more freely. Okay, you ready? Let's see if it works. Yes! Okay, so that's all you have to do. So you're going to hold the straw, you're going to take the end of the pipe cleaner that's sticking out of the straw, and move the pipe cleaner up and down. And as you move the pipe cleaner up and down, your wings are going to flap. Look how cool that is. Woo-hoo. So fun, right? Awesome. Okay. And that is our puppet for today. Nice and simple, I think. So, yeah. If you want to, earlier I experimented with putting on some pipe cleaners or some little squiggly pipe, construction paper if you want to make some antennas, or however else you want to decorate your butterfly puppet will be great, but otherwise, you're good to go. Awesome. All right. Well, that is our first forest craft for Forest Week. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, we are Wonder Spark Puppets. We are here with these DIY crafts, puppet crafts, every single day. Weekdays at 4 p.m. and then Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. So every single day there's something fun for you to do. Fridays at 11 a.m. we live stream a free puppet show for you and your family. So definitely be sure to tune into that. And those puppet shows are up for the entire week until we do the next one the following week. As always, you can check out our website, wondersparkpuppets.com. You can find merch, you can find membership programs, you can order a puppet telegram or a live puppet chat for someone special, and you can also enter a raffle to win a private live streamed puppet show of your very own. So lots and lots of cool stuff. Definitely be sure to check us out, and we will see you again tomorrow at 4 p.m. for more Forest Week themed DIY puppets. Thank you, everyone. See you later. Bye.